You guys actually want to know how to jungle properly? Like, look at this comment for me that I recently got, right? Like, this is just from an 8-minute video I did. What I'm going to do for you today is probably around the same time. And in the next 8 minutes, you're actually going to know what challenger junglers think and how they play. Been a lot of talk recently about the meta and how it's changing in terms of the jungle because the experience from camps is going up. You're now dealing actually the same damage to the enemy camps as you are your own, which is good for jungling. But I'm actually going to teach you in this video that regardless of what happens in terms of the jungle meta, this is actually how you should think when you go into your games. So I know this is a jungle video, but if you play mid lane, top lane, bot lane, you will also learn something from this because the concepts we talk about, well, you can apply them in your own lanes. And by the way, guys, if you want access to videos just like this one that I'm making for our website and for our subscribers, make sure you check out GameLeap.com, link down below in the description and comment section, because yeah, myself and other challenger players and coaches are uploading daily content that is actually going to help you improve at this game. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into this game. So first of all, we're going to be looking at one of my students' games. So this is in around like Platinum, NA Elo. And in this game, he's playing Kindred against Diana. Now, because Diana is really like a level 4 champion, yes, at level 3 she can do something. At level 3, she's not the strongest in the world. You can compare this to something like a Kayn and Evelyn, someone who typically does full clear, and you can actually do something because you're the stronger champion. So quite simply, the question we're asking ourselves is, can we actually invade this guy early on? If the answer is yes to that question, all you have to do is study your red buff, clear Krugs and Raptors. So back in the day, sometimes you could just go straight from your red buff into their Gromp area and invade them, but I actually just think it's a lot better now to go red Krugs Raptors because Krugs are so easy to take and they give you the most experience. You want to put Krugs and Raptors on a timer early on, and that's exactly what this student does. He goes red, Krugs Raptors, and then runs at the Diana's top side. Now, there are a couple of little mistakes here. The first one I want to point out is that Joey, the student, does not actually ping where the enemy jungler starts. This should be the first, like, kind of point of communication, I guess, that you make in every single game. Like, if I'm to coach you, like, if you don't ping where the enemy jungler starts, you're trolling. You're withholding information from your teammates, and in this game, we can clearly tell the enemy jungler has probably started at their red buff because Kayle is showing before the enemy bot lane. Pretty simple stuff so far. Now, if we fast forward a little bit here, after Joey does his Raptor cap, he knows that he's probably making this move into the enemy topside jungle. But unfortunately, he doesn't ping anything here. There's no on the way ping at the enemy blue buff area. This means that Cassiopeia, this means that Malphite, to know this information, they have to look at their map. And guess what? In the early game, most of the time you're going to be so engrossed in what you're actually doing against your opponent that you won't have time to even look at the minimap and consider what your jungler's doing. Now, another mistake here is that Joey does not look at mid lane. So we don't know here if Yasuo is a free kill or not because we don't look at the mid lane. And just a quick tip here, like it's probably the case that Yasuo is on a similar HP to Cassiopeia. So if you look above the minimap for me, if your teammate is on kind of close to full HP, the enemy champion probably will be as well. Most of the time, people are going to trade the same amount of HP. That's just how it works. But anyway, Kindred decides to make this invade onto the top side, which is still fine. The use of the sweeper is great because you want to know before you invade an area if it's warded or not. This way you can actually tell or not if the enemy team knows you're doing this. Now Kindred just queues over, gets a little bit lucky with the timing, but all this is just beautiful League of Legends and beautiful jungling because the Kindred player knows that she's stronger than Piginator playing Diana. Now, this is where challenger junglers are going to separate themselves and maybe even like high challenger junglers from everybody else. Now, I want you guys to think here, like what would you do? So you've just killed the Diana, you've taken her blue buff, and her Gromp is right here. Your smite is up kind of soon, the enemy Kayle might be moving down towards you, and if we also look in the game time as well, it's 2:53 here. Now, jungling at the highest level is all about knowing timings. If you don't understand like what the time in the top right actually represents, then you're not actually going to be able to play this role effectively. The closest thing to spawning, if we really like think about it, is Scuttle Crab, right? That's in about 35 seconds time. 35 seconds. You guys should just know that around 35 to 40 seconds is around the time you need for a recall and then to get back on the map, close to the middle of the map. This means that Kindred here should be thinking about hitting Diana somewhere where Diana might go. Why? Because she's stronger. If you get a kill in the early game and you recall and you cash in those chips, when you meet them again, you'll 100% win. Then the next key step, after like pressing recall, is to think about where you can actually hit the enemy champion. So in this case, the jungler, right? So if you're a laner, you just walk back to lane, right? Easy. But if you're a jungler, you have to think about where the enemy's jungler is going to go. Now, do you think Diana's going to run to our top side here? Because the Diana is level 2 with 12 CS, which means, and it's kind of weird, but this was on the old patch as well, that she's done red Raptors and walls. That means that Diana's Krugs are up, her blue buff's up, and her Gromp is up. But she knows that Kindred has a blue buff and is probably going to take her Gromp because it's right here, which is what Joey decides to do. This is definitely correct. Like, Gromp is so close to this, you're not going to waste any time by actually taking this. But after Joey takes Gromp, and he should definitely smite this, by the way, what is the actual killer move here? Because this is how you start a snowball and keep it going and going until it becomes like a Nunu snowball on TFT. So the key move here is to recall, which is kind of what we've alluded to so far, right? So what are we actually recalling for? Because this is all about tempo, right? I'm sure you guys have heard about this kind of like theory. If there is time on the map for something, then you want to recall for it, spend your gold, and then you can run to that thing, right? It might be like a Baron at 20 minutes. It might be a Rift Herald at 8 minutes. It might be a Scuttle Crab at 3:30. It could be 6:40, the first jungle buff that's going to spawn again, right? These are timers. That's what tempo is. Is there tempo on the map right now? Yes, there is for Scuttle Crabs. Now, what Scuttle Crab do you think Diana's going to run to? Is she going to run towards the level 3, soon to be level 4 Kindred topside? Probably not, right? She's going to run to the bot Scuttle Crab. So what should Kindred do out of base? Well, as she's recalling, she should ping on the way to the bot Scuttle Crab, and then she should also ping Diana's bot side jungle because that's where she's probably going to be. So that's also the process, guys, when you're actually recalling and doing some sort of tempo play like this. Now, as we're watching this, if you really don't believe me that this is how you should play, I'm going to show you the best jungler in the world. Honestly, in my opinion, like the best player of all time. Like, I think he's like better than Faker. I think he just transcends the jungle role. So we're going to be watching a clip of Canyon playing Lee Sin in High Challenger Elo, and we're going to watch what he does at around the same time when he gets a kill and an assist at level 3, okay? Now in this game, because Joey doesn't recall, he ends up face checking the Diana and he has to blow his flash. How are you going to blow your flash when you have this much of a gold lead after killing the Diana? You're a level ahead with double buffs, but you're having to flash? Like, we've made some sort of criminal mistake here. It shouldn't be this difficult. That's all it is. Pressing the B button for that tempo play on the map. Now, what does Canyon do in this game? Well, he gets a kill and an assist in the bot lane. He recalls straight away. Now, is there tempo for something? Scuttle Crab. 3:30. Now, what crab are we going to go to? Well, it's interesting here. This is kind of like a unique situation. But you have to understand, guys, that Canyon's bot lane here has so much pressure. The enemy Draven is very low HP. The enemy Nautilus will be running back to lane. And there's nothing stopping the enemy jungler here, the enemy Elise, from re-ganking his bot lane. The Varus doesn't have summoner spells, so if his bot lane, especially when they have a lead like this, throws their lead, well, it just makes the game infinitely more difficult. And does Canyon really care about his topside jungle? All that's up are his Krugs? Probably not, right? Like, who cares? You can take that, Elise. No worries. I'm going to make sure my winning bot lane wins even harder. That's why he runs to the bot crab here. And imagine if Elise was here ganking his bot lane. Because his bot lane is already winning the 2v2, Canyon winning the jungle. On top of that, it means it's just an insta-giga win, right? So this is what tempo is, guys. This is the essence of it. Timing your recalls for plays on the map. And it's not just Scuttle Crab, like I said before. It could be Rift Herald, it could be a dragon. Hopefully this makes sense. Any questions about it, let me know in the comment section. And if you do want more of these videos, if this was really helpful, let us know by leaving a like down below. I'm not really sick of it, but it is nice to not make a fast food Macca's video every once in a while. But guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been it. See you in the next video. Peace.